today we're gonna do something a little different. I usually talk about a lot of urban fashion, but I wanted to bring it up a scale. I'm gonna let the man introduce himself.
How you doing? It's Claude Michelle from Boston, Massachusetts. I'm a cut and sew designer. I've been doing it for the past 7 years.
But it's nice to finally get together and talk about it. I feel like the cut and sew it hasn't been a thing for a lot of years. So like my first question to you is, what really got you into doing cut and sew and actually sticking to it as well?
So I got into fashion at a young age. Growing up, my mother's a seamstress, so I used to grow up and watch her sew. And I've always wanted to get custom stuff made for myself, so I used to ask her to make me stuff, but she would mostly make women's stuff, so she would make stuff for my sisters. And the only time she made stuff for me when I was younger, and I barely remember.
Yeah.
So as I got older, I got into clothing, dressing up, and things that I saw. So when I started working retail, I really got into dressing up and putting together outfits, and I had an eye for it. So me and my twin, we wanted to get into doing the fashion label together.
Yeah.
We had an old label name. I forgot the name of it, but together we had a label together. But then he was more into music, so he stuck with that while I actually focused on the fashion stuff still more. And so, first thing I taught myself was a bow tie. So I first had to tie the bow tie first.
Yeah.
Then my mother always said the way she taught herself was she deconstructed a garment, see how it was made, and put it back together.
Yeah.
So for the bow tie, see how it was made, I used it as a pattern. Made my own pattern. Found out about the little thing that was inside it called the interfacing.
Yeah.
That's what keeps this tie stiff. Put it in, and I started with bow ties back in 2009, and from there I just worked my way up.
Okay.
The last thing that actually was the hardest thing for me to perfect was suits, but then I got to
the point where,
Okay.
My
mother keeps saying you gotta, if you make a mistake, just start over. If you make a mistake, start over.
Yeah.
Because it gets to the point where you gotta perfect it. But it's like starting over. It gets to the point where when you keep perfecting it and starting over, you basically become a natural at it.
Yeah.
So it's like
almost like muscle memory at that point.
Yeah, because it's to the point where, like, for example, you ask me, you want something made for me. Like you say, I want this jacket made. In my head already, while you're telling me about the jacket, I'm already constructing like how I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna cut out this and do this and do that and that.
All right, cool. All right, so I know usually I'm a big urban fashion man, but I do like to dress up sometimes. But I feel like it's been something that's been sticking around for a long time. It's looked like it's not going anywhere. What are your personal takes on like where fashion is at and where it's heading to right now?
Where fashion is, I love the collabs. A lot of people are collabing. You got a lot of urban brands and also cut and sew brands that actually collaborate with each other. Especially like you see someone like Supreme. Supreme was a streetwear brand that was low key, and no one really knew too much about them.
Yeah.
Only people that knew about them were really people that are into streetwear or like the skater boys.
Yeah, skaters. I was thinking skaters.
Yeah, but when they started collabing with like Nike and who else did they collab with? I think Louis Vuitton and a whole bunch of other people. That's when they started growing as a brand. Because recently I just found out they won Menswear Designer of the Year.
Yeah, last year, 2019.
Which is mind blowing. But I also understand. You understand, like they were smart about it. Let's collab with all these people.
Yeah.
Then they buzzed to the point where J.R. Smith got a tattoo on his leg of the logo.
Supreme. Yeah. I think I believe what got, if I remember correctly, I think what got Supreme hot was they booked a shoot with Dipset, paid them it wasn't that much money, and was like, yo, we need you to take a shirt and like a Supreme shirt, and like they took that picture of them wearing a Supreme shirt and put it on a t-shirt, and that's what really kind of got them buzzing. Now it's like it was a crazy thing I've heard, but as far as you've been doing this for 7 years, correct?
Yeah. And
I just want to know, have you ever been to like a fashion week, and if so, like how many fashion weeks, and which one was like the best one you actually had experience during like whatever event presented your fashion?
New York Fashion Week was my first year. Started out 2012. I started in January, and I did my first show at a college. I did a lot of college shows when I first started, and I was buzzing.
Yeah.
Because of all the college shows I was doing, and thanks God to social media, I got reached out to a production team in New York that said, "We want you to do New York Fashion Week." I said, "Hell yeah, I'm gonna go. Why not?" So I had fun because when I went out there, I did New York Fashion Week. I not only just presented stuff, but I also got to interact with everybody, stuff like that. But one of my favorite fashion weeks I went to, I didn't get to present, was London Fashion Week last year. I was out there in 2018 for 2.5 weeks, and it was amazing how, like, if you interact with people, like, went to a workshop, and I interacted with some people, and some of them were designers from the States. It's a big deal. It's kind of like
it's like, wow, like, you're actually doing something nice.
You know, you're from the States. Yeah. It's like, to them, it's a big deal, which is funny because, to me, I think, like, someone from London is a big deal for me. So, but that's just how it is out there. So
why do you think that it was like a big deal for you to be a designer from the States? Or is it something like, is it because like, oh, it's rare to hear from people in the States that doing cut and sew, or is it just because like, oh wow, he's from the States, like I respect that he's doing that?
I think it's the fact that not too many people from the States go out there.
Yeah. And
especially fashion wise, I guess. So for them to run into people that are into fashion that come out there, it is kind of a big deal because like for us, like for example, Boston. We'll use Boston as an example.
Yeah.
How many times you hear people from other cities coming out here for fashion?
Not
That's many, right?
Yeah.
So to us, it's kind of a big deal when you be like, yo, I'm having a show where I have a whole bunch of designers from outside of the state.
Yeah.
People are going to be excited to go to the show. Even though they might be as good as the people that live here, but the fact that they're from another state, it's just the stigmatism.
Yeah. Got that. Cool. Now, I want to take this, I guess, interview to like just kind of wrap it up. So I know you've been doing this for 7 years, and I know you hit a few fashion weeks. But like, as far as your personal stuff, like how many collections do you have, and like, do you have like sub? You know how some people have like, Ralph Lauren has polo, and then like like it's like levels to that. Do you have levels to your fashion stuff? You want to just give us a little, just break it down for us real quick.
So my first brand was Rowing by Claude Michelle, which is more of my sportswear brand, but it's very vintage. It's a lifestyle brand as well. That is the brand I actually started with.
Yeah.
And then I introduced Claude Michelle, which is more of the high fashion brand.
Yeah.
Which is the suits, the gowns, just a whole lot of the high fashion.
A lot of elegant stuff.
Yeah. Then soon I'm gonna be releasing the kids collection, and then one of my goals is to release the all women's collection, which is gonna be inspired and named after my mother.
Okay, wow.
Yeah.
That's dope.
So that's something that I'm also looking to do because Ralph Lauren is one of my favorite designers, and I felt like he set the tone when it comes to how your fashion company should be ran.
Yeah.
So I felt like the different levels is dope to me because not everybody can afford all the levels of Ralph Lauren. You got people that can afford purple label or black label, but then you got people that can afford Chaps.
Yeah.
Which Chaps is actually coming back, which is crazy.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
And then you had Rugby, which Rugby kind of like.
It was. I remember if you had a Rugby, you was lit back in the day.
Yeah.
But now it's just like it died out. But I feel like I'm starting to see low key a few people wearing Rugby again.
Yeah.
Like, which I'm actually surprised at. It's like a full circle. It comes back around every single time as far as the fashion stuff comes.
So it's like, to me, Ralph Lauren is like who I look up to.
Yeah.
And how he does things. So I got to the point where I was just like, I want to do that. I want to have different levels.
Yeah.
Of different fashion because not everyone can be able to afford everything that you put up because Claude Michelle is a totally different brand and level of fashion than it is for Rowing. Yeah. Like a Rowing stuff you can be able. I want people to be able to afford, like college kids. I want to be able to afford the stuff that's in it. But then that same college kids that graduates, he'll be able to afford the Claude Michelle because they have.
So it's kind of like so you kind of already have everything planned out as far as like I know like Rowing is affordable for y'all, but I know when y'all get that real money, when y'all graduate college, y'all about to get this Claude Michelle pretty much, right? You see? And it's just like as I'm talking to you, I'm respecting you already more than I already do, because like you're already thinking ahead. I feel like a lot of people don't do that. So like what made you kind of like plan this out? Like what I'm trying to word this in a way where like it sounds correctly. So you already broke down the level, but like, what made you really just be like, all right, this is exactly what I want to do with my brand? And like, also on top of that question, just to give you the mic and stop doing the whole back and forth stuff. Just also, what inspires your clothing? Like, what makes you do something? Like, this is what I want to do, and this is what I'm like. To the color, to like the stitching, I want to like know all that.
Okay. So, what inspired me to do that, like I said, I was doing my research on all my favorite designers, Tom Ford, Ralph Lauren, etc. Especially Ralph Lauren was my number one guy. Yeah. So, when I first started, I wrote down my business plan. I explained that I want to have the breakdown to the level because Ralph Lauren, exactly what he did, he did different levels. And I was noticing that because I was like, okay, so you got Polo by Ralph Lauren, but you also have Ralph Lauren. Then you have Lauren by Ralph Lauren. Then you have Black Label, Purple Label. Then you have the Double RL, which is like,
you're teaching me right now. I didn't even know.
Yeah, he got Double RL, which is another brand, and then he has Polo Company. I think the Polo Jean Company. Yeah, he has like a all Western brand. So he had the different brands. Yeah. Then he also had the sub brands where it's like they're still Ralph Lauren, but it's like Chaps and Rugby, etc. So I said to myself, I want to do that. I'm gonna basically mimic. Yeah. It's like, why reinvent the wheel? Yeah. So I didn't reinvent the wheel. I just basically mimicked what he did, took it, and used the same concept. But the thing is, he did the same thing that Brooks Brothers did before him. Yeah. And Nautica did the same thing. Perry Ellis did the same thing. Tommy Hilfiger. They all actually the same type of style brands. The only thing that separates them is their lifestyles. Ralph Lauren's all about polo lifestyle. You know, and then Nautica is about the boating. Yeah. And then Tommy Hilfiger's all-American lifestyle. So to me, I wanted to introduce a sport like rowing, because the reason why I wanted to introduce rowing, especially to the Black community, because it's like, I did my research on rowing. I learned about the sport, the year that it was founded in the U.S. and all that other stuff. That's why 1839 is part of it. Yeah. So it's rowing 1839 because in Detroit, that's when it got established in 1839. Yeah. And so I'm trying to introduce a lifestyle because I love vintage clothing. Mm-hmm. And growing up, I watched a lot of black and white films with my mother. Yeah. And her style is very vintage too. So that's what, going to the next question, is inspired my how I do things. Yeah. I'm all about timeless clothing. I want you to be able to wear something now at your age, even 30 years from now, you can still wear that same piece of clothing. Okay. Like, I had a friend of mine, she said, I can see my brother wearing that sweater, who was like 18, but I can also see my father, who was 60, wearing that same sweater. Oh, that, to me, that must probably mean a lot. It's called timeless. Like, if your stuff's timeless, it separates you from everybody else. Because I was looking at how, like, a history on Ralph Lauren and the Ralph Lauren people back in New York, they had this thing called the Low Gang, and how they're obsessed with Ralph Lauren and how they show all the vintage pieces that they wore. Yeah. So to me, it just shows you, like, you can still be wearing old Ralph Lauren and still be hip now. Yeah. So that's why I wanted to do stuff that is timeless. And when it comes to colors and stuff, I'm very into colors. I was never afraid of colors, especially for guys. So, like, I'm the type of guy, I've worn purple pants. Yeah. Or like purple corduroy pants or orange pants. And you won't see that. You won't see that. No, you don't see that. But the thing is, I like to challenge guys to step outside the box. Yeah. And don't be afraid to wear colors and still be masculine. You can still be the guy that plays football and walks out the football stadium. You're wearing a blazer or pink pants. Yeah. And you driving a nice car, and it's like, okay, you know what I mean? So it's like, you got to introduce people to the lifestyle behind everything. It's like the reason why I use these colors, because I'm not afraid of those color palettes. Coming from Boston, you see the different color changes from the seasons. Yeah, you do. So that's another thing that plays on. Like, for fall, I see a lot of dark colors, red, orange, and that's why when it comes to fall season, like, I still put in colors. Yeah. I use a lot of black, gray, and all the dark colors, but I use color too. I sprinkle it in. Yeah. So you can keep it like that. Okay. I was gonna say, just to I would consider myself, plus size, and obviously you consider yourself plus size as well. I know one thing that gets me mad about the fashion industry right now is, I mean, we're getting there, but the plus size, they're not really catering to us. Like, what's your thoughts on, like, these brands, like, obviously the known brands, like I would say, like, I like to shop from Zara, but it's really hard to shop from Zara. You know why? Why? European cut. Yeah. It's different from American cut. Okay. And just like American cut is different from white American cut and black American cut. Yeah. We're built differently as black men than we are than other men. Yeah. So it's like, to me, being me as a black man, it's another thing that I got that advantage. Yeah. So my cut is based off of a black man cut. Like, a medium to me for a black man could be something that fits an extra large or a large for like a European. Yeah. Because Europeans are built smaller than us. 100%. Yeah. This is why I know exactly what you're saying, because like 2XL in like Zara is like actually like an extra large or a large out here, which is kind of like, but that's not their fault. That's what they're used to. Just like Japanese fit is different from our fit. Yeah. Because I remember years ago, I bought an ex-girlfriend of mine a coat. She wears a medium. I had to get an order extra large in that same coat because of the cut and fit.
And I bet it just fit right.
It fit her perfectly, but it's crazy because I'm like, you're not even an XL, you're a medium.
Yeah.
But it's a cut, and so that's the only thing that separates us. But like I said, I'm glad that being my size and not only that being black, I could cater to that audience. Yeah. But the thing is, not only just black people. There's people in general that are our size that would rather wear clothes that fit us a certain way. So fit is a big deal. Yeah. You know, so when you're fit, like when you feel comfortable in something, you're gonna always want to wear it. Yeah.